It's called Last Night at the Proms, and it is going to be quite the spectacle. The event is being put on by the incredibly talented Richmond Hill Philharmonic Orchestra. Joining me now on the line is Jessica Kuhn, conductor and artistic director. Jessica, what is Last Night at the Proms?
Last Night at the Proms is our take, the RHPO's take, on the British Last Night of the Proms, which is actually the last grand finale concert of a whole series of hundreds of concerts that they do all over town in London, all over the country, really. And people line up and buy tickets way in advance for days and days and days to go to these concerts. They have the luxury of hundreds of concerts, and we have 5. So we call ours Last Night at the Proms, not of the Proms, because we don't have 500 concerts to celebrate. And ours is really founded on that last night. It's very sort of English-centric. We play really cool music. There's a half of a concert that is expected from a Proms concert, and that's audience sing-along stuff. And we go with the British, and people can bring flags and dress up and toot horns and all kinds of stuff. It's a really, really fun concert.
So this actually requires some audience participation.
It certainly does, and our audience has got better and better over the years. This is our 8th time doing this, and over the years they've done their homework and found out that the Brits take this stuff really seriously. Originally, people could walk around and they would dress up in their, patriotic gear, and they had horns and just basically British flags. And ours has actually progressed to we invite people from all countries to bring their flags and dress however they want. And our audience that does their homework have started bringing things to bang and sing along loudly, and it's really, really fun.
So tell me, why is this all happening in June? Why do you guys do kind of this last big blowout in June?
Well, we know that our audience we have a very multicultural audience, and we do have quite a contingent of people from Great Britain too. Oh. And the British music is so great. And in lieu of putting on British music on our movies concert, which doesn't make any sense, we dedicate this last one to this. And it also is a really good way to get the audience to participate and be interactive with the orchestra and just have a lot of fun. So it's our big sort of send-off, because then we go on hiatus for the summer.
So what types of musical pieces can people actually expect to hear at this big finale concert?
Well, the ones they can expect to hear is all the British anthem fare, I Vow to Be My Country, and Pomp and Circumstance, Rule Britannia, anthems, of course. And this is the stuff that is sort of expected to be at a Proms concert. Then my spin on it is to actually support some music that people may have never heard before, or is maybe fall by the wayside in popularity, however, is awesome music. And we recognize those great English composers, Ralph Vaughan Williams, Sir Edward Elgar, and Gustav Holst, So we'll be playing some of the Planets, Mars from the Planets. We'll be playing a piece by Vaughan Williams called The Wasps, and people normally only hear the overture, but the whole piece is so delightful and a beautiful character, typical Vaughan Williams. And the Elgar, the Nursery Suite, that's another one that is sort of a B-side one, and we played something similar to this last year, and the audience feedback was it was their favorite piece they've ever heard. Elgar wrote in his notebook for many, many years, ever since he was a kid, little ideas for music. And then as he got on in years, in the last few years of his life, he went back to those sketchbooks and used his mastery of composition to bring them to the foreground and make these fantastic pieces. So we're doing a piece called Nursery Suite, and it is just delightful and wonderful.
Amazing. Now tell us about your partnership with Chorus York. Are they involved in this as well?
Yes. We have met the newest York Region musical ensemble called Chorus York. They've formed in January, and they've been practicing really hard. They've been auditioning conductors, and they seem like a really good group to be partnered with us, because lots of times we would like to do stuff with a choir, But to go far away to get a choir or go to your local kind of community church choir, it's tough for us to try and find a really good match for us.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very keen on doing concert repertoire as well as music that they like to do for their church. So Chorus York is not a church group per se. It's a community group that's auditioned. And that was very intriguing to me because it means that they're pretty serious about what they're doing. So they're very excited to join us, and I'm excited to have them join us. You know, when I started this orchestra, we got a really big first break, and people believed in us before I believed in us, really. And this is the same thing with Chorus York. And I've heard them sing, and they sound really, really good, and I think they're going to be a huge addition to this concert. And keep it local.
Absolutely. And what I find amazing is that you guys actually, welcome people who may not know that much about classical music, and you actually hold, pre-concert talks to kind of give people an idea of what to expect. Are you guys going to be doing that as well?
100%. Absolutely. So the pre-concert talks are really designed to give people inside information about the composers and the music and maybe some dirt that they may not know that might not make it in the program notes. And then if they get home and read the program notes, they'll learn even more. So I don't usually replicate what I do on the pre-concert talk. So you'll learn all kinds of neat stuff about the music and what you can expect to hear, really. And so sometimes it helps people in kind of guided listening now, be expecting something or look forward to something.
Absolutely. And you guys, you always say that no matter who you are, if you love music, you're going to enjoy the show. It's for everyone. Any advice for people? Like, do you think that this is for everyone? Everybody can find something that they're going to love and they're going to be tapping their toes to?
Absolutely. One of the big features I know lots of people are looking forward to is this concert is really based on anthems. That's kind of the nature of the beast. And anthems are not necessarily national anthems. And the Brits have all these songs, and they can't really decide which one is their true national anthem. And I think I might have found their next one in Downton Abbey. We can finally play the music from Downton Abbey, and I'm pretty sure that might get on the list of national anthems for Britain.
Wow.
Some nice stuff, and there's marchy stuff, and there's Baroque stuff, and there's, some beautiful choir stuff, some rudder with the choir, and really there is something for everyone. The stories that support the different big pieces, kids will really be engaged in those stories, but adults will really appreciate those stories and, of course, be engaged as well.
Absolutely. Now tell everybody when Last Night at the Proms is going down and where they can go to get tickets.
The concert is happening on June 19th at 7:30. So people that have come to our other concerts, this is a half an hour earlier because it's on a Sunday. And tickets can be bought at the Richmond Hill Centre for Performing Arts. If you went to www.rhpo.ca, you would find a button you can click, or you can call the box office, or just go onto their website. It's very easy.
Now, sounds like it's going to be an amazing night. So once again, June 19th, 7:30 p.m., Last Night at the Proms. And, of course, it's all about wrapping up the last year and all of the exciting concerts and basically going out with a nice bang for the summer for the Richmond Hill Philharmonic Orchestra. But I have to ask now, coming up next year, do you have anything to tease us for your 2016-2017 season?
I do. In the fall, we're going to do a very special concert in support of refugees with the wake of all things that were happening this year. This is not going to stop, and we have quite a long heritage of this. In fact, Canada was built on that. Mm-hmm. And we have a really neat concert in June where we're going to feature well-known composers who were exiled or refugee, as well as a brand new Canadian composer that is a wonderful artist in the second half, and is going to tell some of his story through music and through narrative. And Christmas concert, Holiday Spectacular, is going to be spectacular. So we have some special treats there that I don't want to give it up quite yet. If you like Broadway music, Broadway is on in February, and all of our concerts next year are in dedication to Canada 150. So there's a very Canadian element to everything. So the Broadway one will be featuring things that were really a hit here in Toronto. and across the country, basically. Canada is really, really a good place to put on these big shows, sometimes before they go to Broadway. So that's going to be that. And, of course, there will be lots of recognizable stuff. And then April, we have Pride Lands. Pride Lands is going to feature George St. Kitts and his friends. We're going to do some of the music that he did with the original Toronto cast on of The Lion King, as well as some other South African music that is really neat, and some really neat audience engagement, call and response things. And we end with Last Night at the Proms, but this time it will be very Canadian-centric with, of course, the second half with all the sing-along stuff.
So you guys plan that far ahead?
I planned about 5 years ahead.
Oh, good for you. You know what? It sounds like an amazing concert last night at the Proms and an amazing year to come for you guys.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me, Jessica.
You're very welcome, Amber, anytime.
That was Jessica Kuhn, conductor and artistic director at the Richmond Hill Philharmonic Orchestra. I'm Amber Giraud, and you're listening to The Feed on 105.9 The Region.